During the Second World War, my father, who was a member of the RUC, the Royal Ulster Constabulary in Northern Ireland, spent most of his days and oft times nights at the entrance to the Belfast Harbour Commission, perusing with solemn dignity all cars and identity cards which moved back and forth in that military-inspected zone. It was a serious job, but to us, his two wee daughters, such work was fraught not with peril, but with stories of adventure and humour with which he would regale us nightly. One of our favourite tales was about a man with whom Daddy worked. His name was William Dines, but throughout our childhood he was known as Stinker Dines. And we would wheedle our father into telling us of his latest escapade, which, without the use of his favourite adjective, would have been normal, if not downright dull. But this would be the kind of monologue Daddy would retell. Now listen, this is pure Belfast, okay? Hello, Billy, says Stinker Dines to me, coming in the back door of the Nissen hut down at Sydenham. Isn't it one stinking cold day, and am I stinking well starving from standing all the stinking well livelong day until my stinking feet were stinking well frozen and stuck to the stinking puddles on the stinking pavement. And just as I was thinking and nipping round the stinking corner to yon wee stinking widow woman to have a cup of stinking char, who do you think stinking well hoves into stinking sight but the stinking Raja himself? Nickname for a most feared sergeant on the police force. So I had to put such stinking thoughts of comfort out of my stinking head and just get back to my stinking points duty. Such long spiels of invectives would make Dorothy and me curl up and roll with delight on the carpet, and Daddy would beam upon us, well pleased to amuse his small daughters so easily. Time passed, and the year I turned 19, our father died. As is usual in Ireland, the remains, as we fondly call the dead body, was laid out in the back bedroom, and my sister and I were kept busy answering doorbells, pouring strong tea, and handing round ham sandwiches and sympathy. The house was full of grieving relatives and friends, talking of everything from what favourite won in the 3:30 race to the fine character of the dear departed, when once again the doorbell's shaky whir was heard throughout the house. I hurried to answer, smoothing down my grey woolen dress and adjusting my features to one of bereavement as I opened the door. On the cement step, wearing a too-long raincoat and turning a stained grey paddy hat between nervous red ham-like hands, was a little man with white hair and a devout face. I bowed slightly in greeting, and the man moved hesitantly forward, saying, "You won't have heard of me, Miss Kerr, but I used to work with your father during the war. My name is William Dines." I had an overwhelming desire to shriek, "Welcome, Stinker Dines, centre of long tirades of fatherly monologues, welcome and 1,000 times welcome." But instead, I placed my young hand in his old one and said, "We are most pleased that you had the time to visit us on this sad occasion. Would you care to view the remains?" Sedately, we climbed the stairs. A friend of my father's.